beautiful dashboard cam shots are brought to you courtesy of this rig right here, which is the main point of today's video. We're gonna talk about this beast right here, the Jag35 BendyPOD. Before I dive into that, this is a vlogging channel. If you happen to come from Jag Garcia's channel to check out the review of this BendyPOD, go ahead and drop a like so I know where you guys are coming from. Hit subscribe if you want to. I do vlog. The rest of this video is gonna be a day at work here today. We've got our annual pumpkin carving contest coming up at the end of the day, so please stick around for the end of this video. With absolutely perfect timing for this review, my old bendy tripod just broke. Alright guys, hopefully most of you are already familiar with what this product is and its origin story, but I'll give you a quick background. This tripod was developed by fellow vlogger and YouTuber Jag Garcia, who also, I believe, owns the shop Jag35.com, which is really nice looking camera accessories and sliders and cages, all that cool stuff. And like many other YouTubers, Casey Neistat, Garrett Jenner, John Hill, to name a few that I watch, Jehu was very frustrated with the GorillaPod. It was versatile but not stable, and it didn't last. It loosened up over time and led to cameras falling over constantly. So Jehu took some existing parts from his Jag35 store and built a few of these pre-release models. That's what I have. I was lucky to get one of the pre-release models, but this is close to what it's gonna look like in production, I'm sure. So he built a few of these. He uses one himself. He sent one to Casey Neistat, and he gave one to a guy named Jacob Carlson to give away on his channel. That's how I was lucky enough to get this one. He did a Kickstarter page that unfortunately did not get funded, but he's still moving forward with production. They're on pre-order right now. So if you like this video, if you think it's a tripod that you would like, which, spoiler alert, you should definitely get one, go ahead to jag35.com and pre-order one of these so they can start shipping out real soon. Out of the box, my initial impression of this thing was, and you can see in my last video when I unboxed it, this thing is sturdy. It is a beast. It's got some definite weight to it, not too much that it's inconvenient to carry around, but it feels well done. And being used to other flexible tripods, I thought the legs would flex a lot easier. It'd be a little bit easier to get into position. But since each articulation is tightened by a little bolt that you can use an Allen wrench with, it is a lot stiffer, and initially it feels a lot harder to get into the position you want to get it into. But once you get used to it and figure out, my little trick is that you have to sort of put your thumb on the articulation that you want to move specifically, and then it'll move. If you just try to flex, you're gonna get all sorts of articulations. But if you want to bend the main part out, you put your thumbs there and it flexes out nice and easy, but it keeps its friction and it's not just going to slide all over the place. So as a tabletop tripod, amazing. This thing you saw in my last video, I set it down, it held the camera just fine. This is a T3i, so lighter on the spectrum of DSLR weight, but I use the 70D that I'm recording this on and the 10 to 18 millimeter and Rode mic that's currently on this camera on this BendyPOD setup every day, and it holds with no problem. This has a ball head on it, which is an optional add-on on the Jag35 website, but I definitely recommend it. It makes the tripod that much more versatile in the tabletop mode and in the selfie vlogger mode, which I'll show you in just a minute. But if you wanted to get a shot of your phone on the table, having the ball head makes it a lot easier to get that, whereas otherwise if you didn't have a ball head, you would have to articulate the legs down in a way that would get that. Now this tripod's totally capable of doing that. It holds itself in almost any position, which is absolutely crazy that it's still standing up in a position like this. But having the ball head lets you keep it in probably a more stable position and then just turn the camera. Okay, so a lot of you watching this are probably vloggers like myself and Jehu, the creator of this tripod, so you're curious about how this functions in vlogger mode, because, well, I said I wasn't going to compare. A GorillaPod has 360-degree articulation, so you can just bend this up as a handle like you see Casey Neistat do and Sean Duras do, but this only articulates, you know, in two directions. It can't go the other way. So my first thought was, okay, how do I get it in the vlogger handle mode? That's where the ball head really becomes important to me, because this specific ball head is the X source option, and when you loosen it, you can put your camera down into one of these little grooves on the ball head, and then from there, there's your handle selfie vlogger mode. You can adjust and get the perfect angle. So you can get the camera nice and far away from you, so if you don't have a wide angle lens, you're not all up in your face in all your shots. So it works absolutely perfect for that, and then, you know, quickly goes back into tabletop mode with ease. And I think, so Jehu Garcia sent one of these to Casey Neistat, and he did open it on camera and he pointed back to Jehu Garcia's video, but I'm guessing a lot of people were sort of disappointed to see that Casey Neistat didn't use the tripod. And my guess why he didn't use it would be, if you're familiar with Casey, you know that he tries to not let gear get in his way. And I think he probably had the same initial first impression that I did, that this was a lot harder to articulate than the GorillaPod. It might be a little bit harder to get it set up on tabletop mode quickly and then fold it back up and, you know, get on the skateboard and go into vlogger mode. But what I think Casey might have been missing with this is that it's going to be much more stable over time, and once you get used to it, about a day with it for me, I am very easily and quickly able to transform it into the different modes. Speaking of different modes, the only other one we really need to talk about is the BendyPOD function, that this thing can articulate in so many ways that not only can you get your low angles, your weird angles, your tabletop angles, you can also use this thing to wrap around poles if you want to get a time lapse, or you just need that sort of weird shot and don't have the full-size tripod with you. This is capable of latching onto stuff like it did on my dashboard this morning in the shot you saw earlier, to be incredibly versatile. So I'm going to cut to a few shots right here of me wrapping this tripod around some various objects, and then we'll come back. Hopefully this short little review was enough to convince you guys to go to Jag35.com right now and pre-order one of these. In my opinion, it's well worth the $100 for the 7-inch tripod and the extra whatever you're going to spend. I think $25 to maybe $50 for the ball head. Completely worth it. This is an essential part of my gear set now. It fits in my camera bag. It goes absolutely everywhere with me. So go to Jag35.com, pre-order these so they can ship out soon. I don't doubt that I'll have multiples of these soon, just because I love it that much. So again, thank you so much to Jehu Garcia for making this awesome product, recognizing a need in the market, recognizing a need on YouTube for something like this. To Jacob Carlson, thank you again for randomly selecting me to take this thing off your hands and to have the ability to review it on my channel is absolutely amazing. So I'm hoping some of you have come over from their channels, and I'm hoping you stick around. I'm going to use this tripod for the rest of the day to get some cool shots at my job. So stay around until the end of the video. Drop a like if you think you're going to go pre-order one of these things, and I appreciate you watching. Future Nick here. It's the next day. I just edited the video up to this point, and holy crap, it's a 10-minute video already. Most of you have probably already checked out and aren't seeing this part because my retention rates suck. But anyway, I'm gonna do a quick 30-second, minute-long montage of the rest of my day so you guys can get a taste of what my vlogs would be like. Please go ahead and click through and check out the rest of my channel. I'd appreciate it a lot. Thanks, guys.